So here we are in your emotionally fit room, continuing with the overarching theme, the sustainable leader, in this case, protecting your emotional reserves within your organization. So it's just really important that we have daily practices that support us with our emotional well-being, don't we? It's really important. So you have to have that emotional quotient as we talk about it, and lots of empathy. And so, but we can get shelled out, you know? I frequently say in my keynotes, you know, you're giving at work, and all of a sudden, pick that up, and you think, oh my gosh, who just said that? So the tendency is that, like all human beings, that if we're not checking in with ourselves, if we're not making sure that we're detaching with love, the dilemma is that we're going to become shelled out for the people that matter most, like ourselves, our families, and our friends. So there's three strategies I think will be really, really helpful. The first is embedding a 5-minute validation into your next team meeting. I'll talk more about that in a minute. The second one, of course, is to normalize supportive boundaries. The third is to practice the clean break transition. Okay, so let's jump into the first one, embed 5 minutes. Quite simple. Your next team meeting, you're going to ask the question, what was the most rewarding or the heaviest part of yesterday for you? So what you're doing is you're creating a safe space for your team to be able to feel heard and validated without, immediate judgment and no problem solving. It's just really important that we encourage people to be able to have that self-awareness. See, a lot of the senior leaders I'm working with are saying things like, Kate, well, they don't seem to have that self-actualization, that self-awareness. Well, are we creating it in their day to allow them to do that self-reflection? It's important. Number two is normalize support boundaries. True leadership means modeling this, that it's okay not to be okay. I love it when I hear a leader being very open about their therapy session, their counseling session, because they're being then very honest about where they are in their journey, that right now they need help, that there's something that they're off track or they need to get back on track. So I think that's really important. And I think also being able to remind your team that, accessing the services that you have, whether it's employee assistance or some form of counseling that you have available, that it is a high sign of proactive leadership. Is in no way a weakness. It's really important. I also want to add to that, I think it's important that regular communication, physical communication goes out in emails about here's the links to this. So maybe connect with your HR director, or maybe someone who listens to a lot of great podcasts, whether it's Mel Robbins, Tony Robbins, whoever it is, maybe it's me. You want to put my link in there to my newsletter so they can join my newsletter because it's completely free. So again, continuously letting them know this is important. We know what you're doing is hard work and it really takes its toll on you. The third, of course, is practice the clean break transition. So prevent the emotional weight of what's just happened through the day, whether you're on the front lines or whether you're a leader, and don't allow it to bleed into your personal life. So how do we do that? We do that with a 5-minute ritual. So it may be with one leader I worked with, we had him literally, he rubbed as if he was taking the whatever off of his shoe, but he was doing that on the mat outside of his door. So it was his way of letting go, detaching from what just happened that day. It may be for you that you take 5 minutes, that you're going to maybe have a quiet drive and you're going to not put the radio on, just allow yourself to let the day settle in and maybe reflect on what you felt you did well. I think that's really critical. So your call to action is this. It's quite simple. What I'm inviting you to do is share from peer to peer a thank you note. Maybe it's in a text, maybe it's an email, maybe it's a phone call, maybe it's a sticky note, but saying something very specific. Hey, Jane, I want you to know I really appreciated, how you just brought that possibility thinking into our meeting. I was getting stuck in the mud about some stuff happening. So thank you so much. Be as specific as you can. This is what's going to help uplift us. You see, where burnout lives is when we don't feel seen and we don't feel heard. And so it's important that we continue a culture where we are recognizing each other. Have a beautiful day. Bye for now.